Okay, so the next area around that is around productivity. So it's not just collecting the data and connecting it, but how do you use it? And I think this is where we used to say productivity is really about saving time, and people are using AI a lot for saving time, like helping to draft better emails or draft better replies to emails or summarize meeting minutes, things like that. Now we're moving more towards how do we create value? And again, coming back to Peter's point earlier about how you create value, I reckon what you should do are these small scale projects. So if you're a leader in an organization, then do some small scale projects. You don't have to lead it. You may have a small team of people, especially if you've got somebody who's keen and excited and annoying sometimes already about wanting to do something. Put her in charge of a team and ask her to bring a team together to solve it. And you're looking at one of four things. Either it's about, could be any of these four. It could be about money, making money or saving money. It could be about time, obviously, about saving time. It could be about well-being. So does it increase and enhance people's well-being? And it could be about engagement, either external engagement like customer engagement or internal engagement within the team. And then get them to do a off the main corporate database project using dummy data, and then test it out, see if it works. Let me share an example. This is one that one of my clients did when I was working with them around this. So this is an organization that does a number of community services. One of them, they've got one of the arms of the organization does childcare. And so this group, the childcare group, because what we did was we brought all the leaders together in a room one day, and they were all sitting at their own tables based on their department. And the childcare group said we spend about, every time we get a new child into our system, we spend about 3 hours writing a development plan for them. Can we use AI to reduce that time and still get the same quality? And I love this group more than any of the others. I love them all, but I love this group in particular because when they did it, they had never used AI before, not really, except for little minor ChatGPT. But they went away and they asked AI, how can we use AI to solve this problem? Came up with some suggestions. It said use this software called Notion, which is not part of their corporate suite. They were using Copilot. They'd never heard of Notion, so they asked ChatGPT, how do we use Notion? And so they got a tutorial on how to do that. And then they built this thing that when they came back 3 weeks later and all the teams were presenting their ideas, they built this that reduced the time from 3 hours to 15 minutes. And most of the time was a few minutes entering all the data about this new child, about their age, their preferences, their likes, dislikes, whatever, put that into the system. AI generated the report, and then it took about 10 minutes for an actual qualified staff member to review that and say, is it right, is it appropriate? And they did kind of testing as well to make sure that the AI was, well, not to make sure it was right, but to see what the AI would say. So they said one of the tests was, they said, oh, this child likes running with scissors. And sure enough, the development plan came back and said, oh, make sure there are lots of scissors around. Okay, so they stress tested their software, but they understood the limitations. So I love the fact that they used AI to find an AI solution, but also the second thing, which I didn't expect, was when this HS childcare group shared their idea with the rest of the team, somebody in the aged care group, because they also provide aged care services, said, hey, can we come and speak to you afterwards? Because every time we have a new resident moving into aged care, we need to write a management plan for them. And I reckon we can use your software or adapt it slightly. And then the HR group said, can we talk to you as well? Because every time we have a new employee, we want to help them write a career plan and a career progression plan for their development. And, can we use your software as well? So the thing about doing these projects was that not only did they do something that they could then demonstrate to senior management, and then the next step is to bring IT on board and incorporate it and do it using Copilot, using real child data and so on in a safe, secure environment. So that's number one. And that was the initial goal. But also by sharing it, they had a success story that other teams said, we'd love that as well. And it wasn't just some idea. It wasn't just some half-baked idea. It wasn't something that other teams had to put a lot of resources in. They'd already proved it. And these other teams said, can we piggyback on that to get more ideas? Okay, so this is a really good use of AI for like internally for product. I'm calling it productivity, but actually, like it took it in this case, it was a 3 hour task became 15 minutes, which then meant that the people could spend time doing more high level tasks. Any questions about that, comments about that? Because this thing about doing projects is a key to AI adoption. I've been rabbiting on about it for the last 2 years now, and some people get it and they do it. Other people go, no, 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 we need to get our AI policies and guardrails and strategy in place first before we can let our people loose on it. Other people go to the other extreme and go, no, we'll just let everyone do anything they want, and then it causes leadership problems, governance problems, right? But projects, I think, is a really, really valuable middle ground where you get people doing projects that create value and they learn to use AI and they become comfortable with it. So these people who in this group who are doing this, they weren't against AI, they just hadn't used it very much. But then they taught themselves to do it in a way that creates value.